Hello, everybody. It is the witching hour, January 29th, 2021, and thanks for joining me. I know I'm up a little bit late. Hopefully, some of you will join the Queen in this early morning. It's a battle getting on today, but I wanted to give you some updates to some stories that I've discussed here on the channel. So I'll give you all a little bit of time because it is the witching hour. I got people up. Hey, how y'all doing? Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Queen. Alexis Platt. How are you all doing? Hello. So glad you all could join me. I've been trying to get on the past hour. I had some updates for you guys. I've got 10 in the room. Thanks a lot. A lot to cover this early morning pertaining to the case, some cases I've discussed. I'm going to try to be brief and go through everything. Hello, Nene. How you doing? I've got 16 already. You all don't sleep now, do you? What are you all doing up this time? Time of morning. Golly, this is crazy. Hello, Helen. How you doing? Different background today. It's cute. Yes, this is the boudoir. We are in the boudoir. I said we'll give the kitchen a break. Thank you so much. Okay, Michelle says she's working. Hello. I'm going to go ahead and get started since I've already got 18 in the room because I want to cover 3 different stories. This is a compilation video for those who are just tuning in. Please no super chats. The first case is about Cupcake. I'm sorry I'm late with this information. I didn't even get a notification for this storyline. So please forgive me. I am weeks late into this information. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to News 9 ABC. Kidnapping murder case of Camille Cupcake McKinney moves forward. This was uploaded January 5th. Tuesday afternoon, Jefferson County Judge Clyde Jones set a pretrial date for both suspects. Patrick Stallworth and Derica Irisha Brown will be in court for the hearing on March 31st, 2021 at 9 a.m. Judge Jones also issued a standing discovery order to allow the defense access to statements and evidence surrounding the case. The 2 suspects accused of the kidnapping and murder of a 3-year-old Birmingham girl last year have been indicted, according to court documents made available Tuesday. A Jefferson County grand jury indicted Patrick Stallworth, 40, and Derica Irisha Brown, 30, on capital murder of a child under the age of 14 and capital murder during a kidnapping charges in the case of Camille Cupcake McKinney. The pair could face the death penalty if convicted. McKinney was abducted on October 12, 2019 from a birthday party in Tom Brown Village in Birmingham, and her story held the city's attention for 10 tense days until her body was found inside a dumpster in a Jefferson County landfill by investigators on October 22nd. An autopsy showed that McKinney died of asphyxiation by suffocation, and she had toxic levels of methamphetamine in her bloodstream. During testimony from earlier hearings, Stallworth accused Brown of kidnapping the girl, while Brown accused Stallworth of sexually abusing the child. Hundreds of people attended McKinney's funeral. Okay, that story is by 9 News ABC, Birmingham. My next update, got a lot to grab here. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Yes, thank you for the birthday wish. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, the Queen turned 50 today. So thank you for joining me. I've got 25 in the room, 11 thumbs up. Thank you so much. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thanks a lot. Okay, and no super chats, please. We don't need to give YT the money. Okay, because they will take a portion, for those of you who do not know that. Okay, my next update is pertaining to Mr. Dimitri Cash Sr. out of New York, Greece, New York. Mr. Cash is accused of kidnapping his 2 children out of a foster home in Greece, New York, outside of Rochester. He and another accomplice broke into this home and tied up said adults with 2 children, and I'm going to bring you that update. And if you need verification for that story, it's News 8 WROC. Dimitri Cash Sr. is accused of planning the kidnapping of his 2 children. He was arrested over the last weekend. He allegedly tied up the victim and the homeowner. Doesn't specify age, race. I mean, not race, but doesn't specify whom was whom, female, male. They were tied up with two other children, pushed down a set of stairs. One victim is said to have sustained significant bruises. A car was stolen, which was the car of the woman, if I'm not mistaken, or persons in the home. They used their van to get away. It's a very odd story. A woman was also arrested in affiliation with this crime. She was arrested in Alabama. They do not know on this arrest warrant. They do not know if these two are the ones who broke into the home. But what Mr. Cash is being charged with is the fact that he was an accomplice. That's what the charge is, accomplice liability. And he's accused of kidnap, burglary, and robbery. And the paperwork does not specify who broke into the home or that he may or may not have been involved, but he is equally responsible. So in this warrant, it doesn't say, thank you all, thank you for the birthday wishes. It doesn't say in this, warrant, if he or the lady who's arrested in Alabama are the two who broke into the home, but each equally responsible. She's still in Alabama. The lady who they found with, I guess, with the children in the said car down in Alabama, Montgomery. She's still she's still down in Alabama, in an Alabama jail. Mr. Cash is at the moment in the Monroe County jail. So I'm assuming he's been extradited back. Let's see what else I wanted to tell you. He has been charged with 3 crimes, and that is kidnap, burglary, and robbery. The kids were found 48 hours later. The car was tracked, and that's how the U.S. Marshals were able to find the car in Montgomery, Alabama, and the car was a rental. So as I state in this said commentary, Mr. Dimitri Cash, who is accused of breaking into a foster home in Greece, New York, broke into that home with an accomplice, tied up the victim and the homeowner with 2 children with duct tape, threw them down the stairs. I'm assuming it's one or two was thrown down the stairs, was injured, and he and the accomplice got away in the victim's car. And then they switched that car to another car, and that second car, which took the children down to Montgomery, was tracked. And that's how the children were discovered. They were discovered in the back of the car in the floorboard with a blanket over them. And that was a car rental. That's the sad information pertaining to Mr. Dimitri Cash Sr. So I've brought you Cupcake update. Patrick and, try to get my words together. Patrick and Derica are going to court next month. They're facing the death penalty. And Dimitri Cash has been arrested. His accomplice, or person who was with him, with the children rather, she's down in Alabama in a jail. I don't know what her role is as far as kidnapping the children. I don't know if she just was a driver. Somebody he asked to come along with them to take the children out of town, or if she was actually one of the people who broke into the house with him. I do not know because the warrant doesn't state her role. Okay, pull these things off. I'm having a hard time, honey. 34 in the room. Thank you so much. Early morning. Okay. Woo, honey. Where do I start? A lot of hoopla. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the birthday wishes. Hello, Nitra. How you doing? I didn't mean to ignore anybody. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Go through all this. All the people. Be truthful. Together. We break. Thank you so much. History High. Thank you, Lakita. Lazionessa. Just Blessed. Andra Marie. Shades 2. Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. Alexis. Everybody. Helen. Queen Talks. Sugar Thoughts. Donna Allen. Thank you all. April. Libby. I'm trying to go through all this. I want you to think I've ignored you. Jennifer. Thank you so much. I got 36 in the room. Tanya, baby daddy. Oh. Okay, you guys. This is birthday day. I did tell you all I was going to go on, but I was assuming later. But since I've got all this little information here, I get my cords situated because I don't want to be fumbling with this stuff. I'm looking crazy this early morning. Okay, forgive me. Trying to get it together. Most of you know there's information leaked out, been coming out pertaining to the chief. Once again, we're on Cali Boys at the moment now. Thank you, Katina, thank you. The chief has spoken with one of the other guys, Mr. AV. Ron Duty has spoken with the chief. Those of you who follow Ron Duty's channel, he's a retired NYPD police officer. Um, right now, the information is pertaining to video surveillance that corroborates Trezel's account of what took place on December 21st, as far as him going out to look for the children, the timeline. It's also been revealed that the camera's an hour off or so, and that's to be expected. But what I want to say about that information is that it's a bunch of bull. It doesn't matter what was said, and I don't want you all to think I'm trying to be funny because I want you to listen to what I'm saying to you. It doesn't matter about it corroborating the timeline, what he allegedly did, it lining up with the phone calls to the dispatch, on and on. All this was orchestrated. So it's supposed to line up because he 9 times out of 10 knew neighbors have cameras. He's not a dodo bird in that area. Do you understand? He's kept a watchful eye out of the neighborhood, surveillance cameras on the buildings. I believe he's very aware of all of that. So the chief letting us know about the timeline and the telephone calls and this and this and that, it does not matter because he planned all this. So it's supposed to line up as far as when he called, he or his wife called to say, hey, our children are missing, yeah. It's supposed to line up. Because this is why I'm telling you, he knew the area, he knew his neighbors had cameras, doorbell cameras, such and such. He had to think about that. What if they go check somebody's camera? So I best get in my automobile, pretend that I looked for the children. I'll drive so far out of sight to look like I've gone somewhere. I rode around the block, came back, played peekaboo with the tree, and waited for the police to show up. So all this was an intricate plan. But what he and that dodo bird wife did not plan on were people in California and abroad and America to be concerned about the safety of the children. He and his wife didn't plan on that. And also what they don't plan on is who investigators are going to speak to, what the neighbors were going to say. So you see, 50 ways plan a crime, 100 ways of getting caught. And people don't realize that when they're out here constructing crimes. They think they've got everything mapped out, but you always leave something out. And what you cannot plan on is every little place you ever went, every little thing that someone saw. So you see, you're not planning on that. And what they didn't plan on were neighbors saying they never saw children. So you see, it doesn't matter about a timeline, how long it took to call the dispatch. All that stuff means nothing. The behavior of the news interview is still on the board, on the docket as suspicious, because that's my point. You didn't plan on how you were going to deliver your message pertaining to your children. You didn't show empathy pertaining to your children. You did not show emotions pertaining to your children. You have yet to seek out another public interview with a news entity. You have yet to go on a public search of your children. You have yet to speak out on behalf of your children. You have allowed your brother, Mr. Watkins of DC, to upload information to a pay site in regards to the children. And then once the video footage was released, by another YouTuber. Then things got switched around to where the brother is saying, oh, we extended members are uploading information pertaining to the children, and this isn't in cahoots with Trezell and Jacqueline, which that sent a message that, okay, we are no longer ride or die fans of Mr. Trezell and Jacqueline West. Don't get it twisted about what the chief has revealed to you. Things are still the same. The case is still open. They're still investigating and gathering information and evidence. They are analyzing evidence. This is why you do not get information pertaining to the children or the family members, because they cannot taint this investigation by dropping you little grains of salt. And that's the spoken word. I've got 45 in the room, 24 thumbs up. Thank you for joining me in this early morning. Nothing shocks me pertaining to this case. And basically, yes, everything that you are hearing right now pertaining to these children missing and the behavior of these parents is repetitive and redundant and daunting. Round and round and round, same song. But that is to be expected because these people were secretive. Okay, Helen, my Cash App is $Big Angie 129. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So you're going to keep hearing the same things pertaining to this case because they can't tell you anything. And when you're dealing with people who have led a secretive life and they didn't fool with perhaps a lot of people, and those people aren't willing to come forward to say anything, then there you have. Thank you, Nitra. This is why you're not hearing anything. Now, you've got some people who so vagrant in their lifestyle, you got people who would love to come out and tell everything they had going on. But obviously, this group, this couple, obviously didn't contend with a lot of people. So possibly that's why you're not hearing different people, jumping on the news telling stuff like, yeah, let me tell you about them. Let me tell you about Pookie. Let me tell you about such and such. Let me tell you about what they were doing. Okay. If there are people who are giving a testimony about these people, IG is Instagram, sweetheart. This is where you go to chat with me live. If you want to chat. On the live chat, excuse me. So, let me make that clear. If you want to chat with the Queen tonight, you can log on to IG and send me a message at BigSexy71. If you want to send a donation to the channel, you can go to Cash App, Big Angie 129. And I want to thank all of you for your support. All donations are accepted, and we are upgrading so we can give you a better experience by next week on the channel. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know why the chief brought this out pertaining to the video footage. I don't know if it's because so many people are complaining about the footage and what's being said. I don't know if perhaps Trezell and his wife are complaining. Like, hey, we're getting a bad rap. Hey, I don't like what's being said about us. Hey, hey, hey. See, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. But one thing I've learned about law enforcement, and this is from so many crimes I've seen over the years, they do not tell you everything. The police will deceive you as far as telling you what they're looking for as far as a suspect. And I'll take you back to the DC sniper. When they were looking for the DC sniper many years ago, they did not tell you that we know who the sniper is. We know what automobile he is in and what car he's driving. Who is also with him. What they told you is, if you have any information, please contact us. Sorry, I'm buffering. Only when I talk about these kids. Sorry. Okay, I've got 62 in the room. Thanks for joining me. Sorry about that, you guys. Yes, hit the like button, subscribe, and also share this with your friends and family so people can stay aware about these children. Like I was saying, with the issue with the DC sniper, They already knew at some point. They knew who they were looking for. They had a suspect's name. They had an ID on the car. They never revealed that to the public. Sometimes they will reveal a car, a suspect in a crime. But in that case, they didn't, because he was a public threat. He was shooting random people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they didn't need any Captain Saver, you know what's out there trying to apprehend and jump him and stop him if they saw him. They also mentioned a van, I think, in that case. If you see this van, please let us know. We would like to speak to the person. They didn't tell you that he was a suspect when they gave the description of the car or the van. They just said, we would like to talk to this person because we believe they may have information about the case, blah, blah, blah. They made it seem very subtle, as if perhaps the person was an eyewitness. And that's what you're supposed to do, because they were dealing with a crazy person. You're dealing with somebody who was out here randomly shooting people in the Maryland and D.C. area. They did not want anybody approaching this nut. You understand what I'm saying? They wanted to keep the information cool and copacetic. Well, in this case, it's the same thing. You think those investigators, FBI, don't suspect these two of harming these children? Of course they do. I think we know that now. We don't need the chief to tell us. Yeah, I suspect these two demons of harming the kids. Yeah, I suspect the kids have been gone a long time. He don't have to tell us anything. Well, see, Chelsea. Oh, Lordy. You all don't listen to anything I say in my videos. This is why I don't like doing lives. I've had this talk with Marshall and another content creator. This is why because it doesn't seem like what I'm saying to you registers, so I don't like repeating myself. I made a point of using the DC sniper as a reference, hoping you would get the gist of what I just said. The chief of police does not have to tell you anything. You cannot continuously keep getting upset because you're not getting the information that you want. He cannot tell you stuff. And then if the FBI is involved, how do we know what the FBI is telling the chief? I don't know, because I'm not out there. I'm not an FBI investigator. I'm not a state police, and nor am I Cal City chief of police or Bakersfield chief of police. I'm not a detective, but I do know they're trying to preserve this case. And he cannot tell you his actual thoughts and what they have, if he knows of anything. He cannot just come out and tell you, yes, Jacqueline and Trezell are suspects. Yes, we have evidence to prove to us they did something, or they did hurt those kids, because they are, as I state, still going over evidence. It takes a while to go over evidence. We don't know how much evidence was taken out of the house. We do not know how much evidence was retrieved from other locations. It has been said they went to other places to talk to people, gather information and evidence. So as I told you in a previous video, who's to say they did not go and retrieve evidence from the other apartment complexes where they live? Well, Chelsea, I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm looking for my other device. Lord have mercy. Hold on a minute, honey. The police does not have to tell us anything. I don't know how many times I got to keep saying that. I don't know how to make anyone understand. Yeah, Tang, I'm done. I am done. I'm not talking about it anymore. How are you all doing out there? I hope you all are well and having a blessed week. Okay. Um, I don't know. I just, yes, the police cannot tell us what they have. That's, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain that. They can't tell us everything. They can't tell. I told you all before, you're dealing with two diabolical people. You don't want them going on the run. You don't want them going underground. So imagine if you tell the public today that you suspect these two as killers and or baby sellers. Well, what do you think will happen? They could possibly go on the run. Then you'll be now looking for them. And then you'll have a manhunt. It'll give him it. This story will then get even more crazy, and that's not what you want. You want Jacqueline and Trezell to think everything is good. Oh yes, we hear everything that you're saying, sir, ma'am. Thank you for coming in to speak with us. That's how you want it. You do not want to do anything to rock the boat with those two demons. Thank you, Cassandra. And thank you, Miss Chelsea. Um, that's the said information pertaining to the video footage. I am kind of curious to why he. Hey, Andrew Wi-Fi, how you doing? I am kind of curious to why the chief decided to say anything about the footage. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. So if somebody's complaining pertaining to the footage, I think it's from so many people talking on YouTube, so many people making videos pertaining to that day and what was going on with their behavior. Oh, thank you, Nitra, so much. Thank you. And thank you for your help, Nitra. I think with all the YouTubers talking, making videos. Then you've got the two different AV guys on the ground reporting the story and talking about the timeline and the calls made in. Just a lot of people talking. Maybe that's the reason why the chief felt like he wanted to, address the situation pertaining to the timeline of them calling in to file the report of the children missing. Okay. KK Lady said the streets applying pressure. God, you're so funny. Okay, so that's the said information. Coming out of Cal City, not very much. Not very much. Not very much at all. What's everyone thinking of the footage of Jacqueline's mother bringing her three adopted children to the West home? Okay, Hawkeye, that's a good question. Um, Angie Wi-Fi, I'll tell you, my head spins. You have to take a break from it because you will lose momentum trying to figure everything out. And I think that's possibly why the chief decided to say something to the public about the video and the timeline of what you all have been seeing as far as him riding around the street. Because it's talked about so much on YouTube and it's probably talked so much possibly in the community. People may have been calling, asking. I don't know. Because like I said, I can't speak for why the chief decided to give information. But I could also say he could be using this as a way to keep these two calm, cool, and collected, excuse me. He could say, you know what, I want to make sure these two don't think that we think they are guilty. So what we're going to do is, we know that everybody's talking about that video footage of the day that they called 911. We're going to ease the situation. We're going to ease their minds. We're going to go ahead and make a statement and say, everything's copacetic with the video, everybody. Indeed, Jacqueline and Trezell called us at this time. It does coincide with the footage that you have seen released on social media, and they're leaving it at that. I know he was only out for 6 minutes. I would have been out screaming for my babies, going completely out of my mind. That's what I think is going on with the chief. That's why I said a lot of people have been, concerned about what the chief is saying. Some things is misleading, as some people have said, misconstrued, some people have said. Like I said, I can't speak for why the chief is saying anything. What he's doing is of his own free will. A lot of people question, the issue with the foster care situation, how many were fostered, how many were adoptive, which I think also got a lot of people crunk last week because you couldn't decide. Okay, well, who's adoptive, who's a foster kid. So that threw, I'm sure, a wrench in the plan with a lot of people, because it threw me off, because I was like, well, gosh, do they not know how many were actually adopted or fostered? Or because if I recollect, all that came out from the brother out on the East Coast when he went to the pay site and made that clear about how many children it was total, who was adoptive, who was, because some of you had made comments about that on different platforms about, just say you got 6 kids and be done with it. You don't have to go, differentiate who's who in the kids, which is really wrong, because if they're your children, they're your children. You don't have to say, well, I got 2 adopted, I got 2 fostered, whichever. So, right, Marie, with all the rumors, and that's the problem with everything going on with this case, is this case right now is just a rumor case. It's he said, she said. Let me tell you what Pookie said, so you don't know what to believe. You got different people believing stuff, then you got different people passing stuff, and then when you all come in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube, you're basically repeating something that somebody else said from social media and or a YouTube channel, a commenter, but it does not mean it's the truth. It does not mean it's the truth. And yes, I am still curious, not that it actually matters, if the other 2 children are actually fostered or adopted. People are going to wonder. Right, you have no proof. And that's the problem with this case, is that it starts out saying one thing, then it jumps to something else, so you don't know what to believe. And the problem with this case is there's nobody to validate anything that's been said. Just something that's basic as who's adopted, who's not. Because people are going to keep asking that, whether you like it or not. There's always going to be somebody that's going to question something. So it threw everybody off when the chief made that comment about, oh, the other 2 are not adopted. So that made everybody go cuckoo, like, wait a minute. Well, that's not what we heard in the beginning. So what, the chief don't know what he's talking about? Or, because I started wondering myself, well, the chief don't know who's who? Or did somebody even tell the chief? Like, with a receipt. Yes, these 2 are fostered. They are not adopted. So you start to wonder what the chief actually knows and what has actually been revealed to the chief. And is possibly there's a reason for what's being said? Have we been lied to by the parents? Because who's to say the parents didn't lie to people and say those other 2 boys were adopted? This is what I keep trying to tell you all. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. And that's another thing you all don't seem to understand. You're dealing with people who are pathological liars. And I think some people aren't really focusing on that. You're dealing with two people who are liars. So you don't know what they've told people. They could have told their family, yeah, we adopted these kids. Would the chief be talking to the CPS? Well, I would hope so. But see, that's the whole thing. How you doing, Pamela? We already know that he's not getting ready to tell us who he's talked to as far as CPS, stay woke, be truthful, you're so funny. He's not going to tell us who he's talked to, witnesses. That's why we don't know anything. Because the chief can't tell us anything, the FBI can't tell us anything. But I do think it is interesting that he's validating the video and the timeline and the call to 911 and the dispatch. I believe that was an intricate plan on behalf of the police department. Okay, that's fine, Marie. I believe that was an intricate plan on the chief's part. I believe there is a reason he is telling us that the timelines match up with what they said in the interview versus the video footage. I do believe that's an intricate plan on the chief's part. I honestly believe that. As hard as it is, we just all have to be patient and keep our prayers up. I think they're keeping a lot of stuff to themselves. The cops, I hope the adoptive parents will be arrested soon. West are panicking. Yes, Marie. That is something I wanted to mention in this video as well. Okay. Hello, Byron. Yes, Byron. I didn't mean to ignore your comment. I'm sorry. Because I know a lot of you are speaking. Hi, Byron. How you doing? Didn't mean to ignore you. Stevie Wonder sees that. KK Lady, you're so silly. Why aren't they charging him with child safety charges or something like that? Taylor's mom. I guess they have to verify everything. Okay, I'm trying to go back to one of your questions. Which we don't know. I can't even think what I'm trying to say. I just think it's an intricate plan with all this. I honestly do. I think there's an intricate plan for why, like I said, they're not saying anything. I think that was a deliberate chess move on the chief's part to verify to acknowledge the video and the timeline. Hello, Amy. How you doing? Everything was intricate, and that was deliberate on the chief's part. I honestly believe that. I do believe arrest is coming soon. I do believe that. I believe they're waiting on evidence. They are analyzing the evidence. Oh, as far as them panicking. See, I lost my train. How could you not be panicking? How could you not be thinking we have screwed up? Because just like the chief came out to give the commentary about the video footage and the timeline, I do believe all that was deliberate. And I think he did that for their sake, so they could stay cool and copacetic. They know they messed up. You all are talking about these people morning, noon, and night in your comments. We as YouTubers are talking about these people. You know damn well they are watching the videos. They are listening to your comments. They're watching your comments. I know they watch possibly because of the thumbs down on my videos and other YouTubers' videos. Do you understand? Why would you be thumbs downing videos pertaining to children and they're trying to get information out pertaining to the kids? It's very crazy and very, very wicked. Parents were too cool for their babies being gone. One thing that I wish the chief would address is why do we not have a current up-to-date photos of them boys? I know why, but I want the question asked and answered, okay? I'm sorry, but you have a beautiful smile. Oh, thank you, Byron. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you all for the birthday wishes. I'm just trying to get all your questions in. Chief knows it, so he played the game to keep. Okay, yes, he did. They expected this case to be swept under the rug like all the others out of Cal City, Bakersfield. Now we are loud and they are scared. How could they not be? Yes, I'm sure CPS has broken down the relation of the kids to the police. Parents were too cool for their babies being gone. Okay. Okay. Be truthful says I believe that too. Yep, and AV them camping out in front of their house is great. Okay. So I think they're worried, the parents. I think the parents are very worried. And naturally, they're not going to tell you that they're worried. Because as you see, they're not speaking to anyone. They're not talking to the news. They're not talking to anybody. And as I've told you all, people don't feel obligated to talk. Now, what we deem as crazy looking, um, right, as they should be, yes. You'll say to yourself, well, why not? Why are they not talking? Well, why aren't they giving a news interview? Why aren't they searching for their kids? I keep saying this 1,000 times. They don't care. So you can ask 1,000 times why somebody's not doing something. Well, they're letting you know how they feel. And that's the thing about life is that I don't have to tell you anything. If I don't feel like I owe you an explanation, I'm not going to give it to you. And that's what this couple has done. They're letting you know we don't care. Ain't y'all done figured that out? That's why the damn kids are gone. On their side, KK lady, I've already said that about the churches and stuff being involved. I think it's very weird. There's no churches and other people in the other cities, Bakersfield and Cal City, gathering like in groves, bigger amount of people. I do find it odd. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about church. I mean, and these two going to church, that would make it even more crazy. I mean, like I said, we're all sinners, but to know that they were in church hooping and hollering and talking about praise the Lord and getting rid of kids. Of course, you've heard the stories before. People going to church and being religious and they're abusing kids and molesting kids and, doing all kind of crazy stuff. So, that wouldn't shock us none either. I wonder why they haven't checked the parents' house. Whose house? What parents' house? I got 86 in the room. Thanks for joining me. Queen, don't go there, please. No, I'm just trying to figure out whose house she's talking about. She's talking about the grandparents, the Trezell's parents. The devil goes to church too. Well, of course. Of course. They have their rights to be silent and do whatever they want. They don't owe anyone anything, just like you said, Queen. It's just a circus now. It's all made. I'm a head spin. I'd be all over the media. But see, that's the point I've been trying to make to everybody. You can ask 1,000 questions. Why? You're dealing with two diabolical people. So, no, Marie, we just wanted to know. I didn't know which parents you were talking about. The grandparents, Trezell's, and Jacqueline's parents. Thank you. Thank you very much. My stretchy band rings. I have bought a lot of these at a hospital jury sale a few years ago. Thank you. These people have shown you they don't care about the kids. That is the very reason why you don't see the kids. It's the very reason why they orchestrated this plan to file a fake police report, which, hell, that's a charge in itself once they gather evidence. That's a charge right there, filing a fake, false police report, because that is what they have done. They never cared for the children. They have used CPS as a way to come up and make money. I wholeheartedly believe that they have used the system as a way to fund their pocketbook. They never cared about children, and they can't care about their own kids because you can't differentiate and say, I love my biological children, but hey, I don't care nothing about these foster children. Marshall in the house? I didn't know that. Where is he at? I didn't see if Marshall came in. So, they've shown you everything you need to know. You just don't know where the children are. You don't know where to find the children. You don't know if the children are alive or deceased. But Jacqueline and Trezell have shown you they never cared for the kids. They let you know that during the initial interview. The fact that they've never spoken again. The fact they've never talked to the news. The fact that they've never searched for the children. The fact that now they're doing their own thing. Perhaps Jacqueline and Trezell also are probably not even together. Because with all these rumors circulating about people needing to take a bath over here and this and that, all the crazy stuff that you're hearing, that leads one to think you're not together. Because that rumor right there was the craziest rumor I've heard thus far. And like I said, I don't promote rumors, because you don't know what's truth and what's not. But I bring it up only because you don't have anything. But I always let you know I don't put my stamp on a rumor. But when I heard that, that was the craziest thing I'd ever heard. Because I said, if that is true, then what? You're sleeping in the street? Why would you need to go to your mom's house to take a bath? So that disputed the fact that you all thought that that's where she originally was staying, she and Trezell. Because you remember, that was the first rumor that came out about, what, 2 weeks ago? Oh, they're in Bakersfield at the mother's house. They're back at the old apartment. But then you hear the rumor, somebody's called, snitched on her for going there, staying there. So now, allegedly, there's some issues about the mother upset and wanted her child to take a bath. I do not know if this is true. So I said to myself, this makes no sense. Why would she need to go to her mother's house to take a bath if that's where she was staying in the first place? So see, you don't know what to believe. So that made me wonder, well, is she in the street sleeping? I tell you, all this stuff is crazy to me. Well, Alexis, you be out there banging. These two are not banging on nothing. They have messed themselves up by, first of all, I'll be truthful, and I've said this to you all before, they made a mistake by even reporting the children missing, because that's what got all this mess started. Hey, Marshall, wherever you are, I can't even find you. They started this mess. Hello, Marshall. Yes, they don't give a crap. Okay, KK says Mexico. I don't know why my mind went there, but it would be cool for Ellie to have in these situations. Hold on, let me go back to that comment. Jennifer, that's Jennifer's comment. Trying to go back to some of y'all comments. I'm assuming that's a truth-telling drug. Well, honey. Ooh, they just make me so bad. I am going to be honest. I have never seen a case where people don't have people gathering to support them. Right. When people be missing or killed, you have a lot of people supported and they have nothing. Okay. That goes back to what I've been saying about this case. These two have been elusive. Obviously, they don't fool with a lot of people. That was said by the neighbor, if we have to believe what he said, when AV Watchman interviewed the guy at the old apartment complex and said the kids would look out the window, wouldn't come outside, they didn't talk to people, they didn't fraternize with people. Okay, so if we are to believe that, then that means that's the type of lifestyle that they led. So when they moved to Cal City, they led the same type of lifestyle. That's why. You ain't hearing a whole lot from people speaking publicly. I guess they didn't fool with a lot of people, and that would lead one to think that maybe they were up to no good. Now, you do have people, like I said, who don't fool with a lot of people. They don't have a lot of friends. They don't have a lot of family, perhaps, and they stay to themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I want everyone to stay on board. When we start trying to throw stones and judge the people, it's easy to judge them because we're thinking that they've done something to the kids. That's normal. But what I don't want is people making up stuff about them. You know, crazy, wild stuff, because that just adds more chaos to the situation. But a person is entitled not to hang with a lot of people, fool with a lot of people. But I just think these were just suspect people, period. There's just something suspect with their behavior. I just think they are fraudulent people. As I stated, I think they were using the state, and that's possibly why you weren't seeing kids run around. Because if I'm up to no good and I'm trying to get some kids knocked off, sold, whatever, I'm not about to let my kids be outside playing so you can start keeping account of how many kids I got and all that. I'm not about to do that. If I want to get these kids gone, the least you see them, the better. You can't go back and repeat when you last saw a kid or anything. Excuse me. Allergies acting up. Good old Tennessee weather. Sorry about that. This is just a strange case. Very strange. Yeah. See, that's something a lot of you haven't thought about. Like with the issue with who's fostered, who's adopted. Think about it. Foster kids, I'm not going to be able to do too much to them because somebody's still coming and checking on them, perhaps. Now, adopted kids, I'm going to watch the timeline, who's going to be coming by, how many times they can come by, yeah. Thank you, K-Lady. When I think I'm in the clear, I'll just go ahead and get rid of these kids. Who's to say what I can do? Because I've adopted them. I'll let a little time go by. Whatever I want to do facetious to them, sell them, murder them, whatever. Who's going to say anything? But still, the flip side of that is you have friends and family who know about the kids, who have seen the kids, watched, came by, visited holidays. You should know they're going to ask about the kids. What fool wouldn't ask? Hey, when you video chat, I don't ever see the other kids. Where are the other kids? So, that's where they make their mistake. They thought they were covering their tracks, but they still weren't thinking somebody's going to remember those two kids. Somebody knows you adopted those kids, allegedly, because I'm starting to wonder what is the truth. But if you adopted those kids and you have those kids in pictures, videos with your family members, okay, when it's time for people to start calling you on video chat, a lot of people will say, well, let me see the kids. Let me see my nephews. Let me see my nieces. Woo, woo, woo. What are you going to tell them every time they call? You're going to say, he's sick right now. She's sick right now. She in the bathtub. She's reading right now. That's going to get old at some point. Somebody's going to be like, no, that every time I call you, you got an excuse about where the kids are. It's not going to work. How far are you from the Georgia-North Carolina line? I am 3.5 hours, about 3 hours and 19 minutes from downtown Atlanta. North Carolina, depending on which part of North Carolina you're talking about, I'm closest to Cherokee, which is on the other side of the Smoky Mountains. And that's basically, what, hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm like 2 hours from Cherokee, where the casino is. I'm 3 hours from Asheville, North Carolina, 4 hours from Charlotte. Yeah. Not too far from Virginia. Of course, Tennessee's like most states. I touch every state. How do you not have photos of your kids if you don't love them or care for them? Well, see, that's the whole point. As I just said to you guys, they've already shown you they never cared for the children because of the upload of the photos to investigators, the Missing Persons Bureau. They don't care for the kids. They never care for the kids. They only got those kids as a way to make money. So, therefore, you're not going to take pictures of somebody that you don't care about. Right. They don't have the kids. So, my thing was, I think they already had decided to knock the kids off or get rid of them or do something. Then, too, it could have been just a spur-of-the-moment thing. They got mad. He got mad at the kids. She got mad. It was a bad day with the kids. One was acting up. Okay. Hell, let's kill them both. I don't know because I wasn't there. But I always believe that the interview that Trezell and Jacqueline gave on the 21st of December was where he was emotionally with those kids. I honestly believe that everything that you heard that day that he stood there and talked to the news was where he was mentally with those kids. I believe he did something to the kids, and that's why when he gave the interview, all the things that he was saying was basically telling you how he felt about the children. Pop explaining something the other day on TV, and he used that terminology, how it played out. Okay, he was talking about a murder. The cop was. And he used the identical phrase. It played out, how it played out. And this was a detective talking on a true crime show. So you see, that terminology is used when you're talking about a foul situation. So why would anyone use that? Yes, and the word rambunctious. He was basically telling you, this is why I got rid of these kids. Because they were a handful. They were a lot to deal with. That's not something you say about your child who's missing. You don't say anything negative about a missing person. I don't care if they were the foulest human on earth. When a person goes missing and you have decided to talk to a news source, you don't say anything negative about the person. I don't care if they talked a lot, they were a liar, if they were a thief, if they were prostituting, if they were a pimp, if they were a drug addict, drug dealer. It doesn't matter because that's not the point. You want people to find your loved one. You want people to help you find them. So you're not getting ready to say anything negative that would turn people off to say, well, I ain't about to go look for no drug addict. They get high. They probably somewhere in the crack house getting high. I mean, you know how some people think. You understand? If a person was to actually say that, yeah, my sister got high. Yeah, she goes from pillar to post. Yeah, she don't work. She don't keep a job. Do you think people would be sitting at home thinking, well, do we really want to go look for this person? Or should I really care that this person is missing? You don't say that. Now, naturally, things will probably come out about the person. That's to be expected. But you don't say anything negative when you are trying to appease the public. The rambunctious comment was so out of context. Well, it was disrespectful. They never stated any compassion about the kids in the interview. Hello, Queen, you're right with everything you're saying. Thank you, thank you. But they never cared for the kids. That's obvious. I think we already know that. That's what got me. That first interview that clown did, his eyes, his body movements. Right, right. So they've proven to us, hey, I don't care about these kids. I'm not trying to find these kids. I'm not crying for these kids. I'm not falling out for these kids. The couple never showed emotions with each other. You know, no hugging, no pat, just no kind of emotion even between the couple. You've never seen a husband and wife talking about their kids missing and they aren't affectionate with one another. Okay, you're not showing emotion for the kid, and the husband isn't showing emotion towards the wife. The wife isn't showing emotion toward her husband. And then y'all just leave, walk off, go in the house. That's the end of the interview. And that's been a month ago. And you've heard nothing from them since. Yes, cold. Yes, their facial expressions and their body language says guilty, guilty all over. Yes, not praying for the kids. They did nothing. Yes, it was cold. No emotional ties. That's it, Sophia. You said it. There were no emotional ties. Yes, saying the truth without even being aware of what you have said. Her whole attitude was off. And that's the point I've been trying to make with you all. Okay, Grandma called the boys bear and spy. Very strange description. I don't know that. Where are you hearing that from? KK lady. Where are you getting that information from? So this is when I get leery. When I start hearing this stuff about what somebody said, I'm wanting to know, where you got the information. What could them poor babies do to deserve? Well, what does any of these people do out here to deserve to get murdered or sold or wherever we think the children are? You have evil people. This is what I want you all to understand. Sent you some birthday cash. Thank you, Angie Wi-Fi. Thank you. I can send you the link. Okay, that's fine. Just put it down in the comment section if you want to. See, people are mean-spirited. People are evil, diabolical, sociopath, psychopath, whichsoever. So you bust your brains trying to figure out why. This is what you have to tell yourself. Excuse me. And this may hurt some of you all's feelings, what I'm going to say, but I don't care because I speak the truth. Why not? Why not hurt him? Why not abuse him? Why not kill him? Why not sell him? Because I can. That's an old saying. I did it because I can. I didn't need your permission. I don't need your permission to abuse a child. I don't need your permission to go beat somebody up, kill them, choke them, suffocate them. I don't owe you an explanation. See, I have always heard from people who work true crime that you have to think like a killer to catch a killer. And that's something I have not said on my channel since this story began. But now we're going to go into the belly of the beast. In order for me to catch you, I have got to be able to identify with you. And then I've got to think like you. So, in order for them to understand Jacqueline and Trezelle, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much. It could be anything, Marie. But I just think it was plain old greed, that led them down this path with the children. And as I state, I do not know where the children are. I do not know if the children are alive or deceased. But wherever they are, I still can't see that they would be in a safe environment. And for anyone to think that some decent person has these children, think again. No decent human would buy a child. Too many adoption agencies here in America to try to get a child. CPS has adoptions, so there's no reason for any decent human to buy another human. You're still foul and rank if you bought the kids and actually wanted children. Let me say that. So to say, oh, I hope it's a good scenario that they're with somebody that cares, they weren't with people who care for them, which got them gone. Right. No decent person would do that. 90 in the room, 62 thumbs up. Thank you so much. So I'm not getting ready to sit here and in my right mind think those two children are in some loving home being nurtured and fed, because that's not the proper way to go about acquiring a child. And most people know that. And if you went and got the kids and you considering yourself a decent human, what kind of life is it going to be hiding the kids? They're never going to go outside and play, hang with other people for the fear of being recognized. Well, then that's the life they just came from. Do you understand? That's the life they just came from. They just came from a life of hiding in the house, looking at other children play, looking out the window. God forbids how they were treated by Jacqueline and Trezell. So to even think they're over here in Idaho somewhere with a great family, come on now. There's no way I believe that. If they can't get them legally, then there's a reason. That's my point. And we have already heard the horrible stories of children being kidnapped. And usually when children are kidnapped by random people, it is for sexual gratification. We can go on and just say that and knock it out the box. And they always dispose of the children. You rarely hear stories that children were kept by a pedophile for years on end. The only way you would hear it is if the child escaped. It's the only time you would hear the stories. And there's probably are a lot of children who could be missing and they're actually alive. But how are we going to ever know if nobody tells? They're hearing stuff in other rooms and basements. The kidnapper's not going to tell it. So you never know what is the truth when you're dealing with missing persons, period. Because there's probably some adults who are missing, and they're possibly held captive in someone's home, basement, shed, garage, whatever. How are you going to know unless the people are able to get to safety or the kidnapper decides to let the person go? This is a crazy story. It just seems like every day there's something new, crazy pertaining to these kids, rumors, this and that. It's just like I heard a rumor the other day. Somebody commented in my comment section or somebody else's channel, I think. They saw the kids in LA. I thought, LA? So the kids were seen in LA? Who saw them in LA? You see where I'm going with this? This case is getting stupid with these rumors. Kanika part 2. Okay. Yeah, you didn't hear that, Nitra? You didn't hear about that? Some girl said that, or somebody said that the kids were spotted in Los Angeles. Sophia's crazy. Okay, Nitra. That's what some girl commented the other day. The kids were seen in Los Angeles. I said, okay. Well, where are you getting that information? This is sad to me. It's literally a circus. I can't stop saying it, but it's just so true. Yes. Anybody want to call me? Give their commentary about this case? Oh, Lord Jesus. It doesn't stop. Where's the photo of proof? Well, there's never going to be any photos or nothing. I think you all know that. Woo, child, the foolishness is too much for me. Yeah, Nitra, it's getting in an Uber. Please, y'all stop it. I can't stand it. Marshall. Marshall, you're a mess. What you say? It's Nitra's turn. God, you all are sick. I can't fool with you all. I mean, it just goes on and on. It doesn't stop. But that's the sad information. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's going to become of this case, but I don't think it'll be cold. I'm not gonna wish that uh, on these boys that it's going to be a cold case. I think they're doing all they need to do as far as investigating and getting the said information. I believe they've gone to different people and talked to different people, landlords, neighbors. So I'm praying for the best outcome for these children. Okay, that's fine. I'm praying. Hit that like button. Show your beautiful queen some love. Thank you. These ain't my kids, but I feel for Sincere Classic and others. Yes, Sophia, I agree. Yes. I just think CPS made a grave mistake by giving any child to them. But as I've told you all, no one has a crystal globe to say who will be right for a family. You see people who are well dressed, well groomed, educated, they live well, they adopt children, take in children, have their own children, but it does not mean they should be parents. Thank you, KK, thank you. They in LA are right. Long absence. Sophia, fake A, yes, yes, yes. That's true. That's true. I just think it's a sad situation. Okay, hold on 1 second. Somebody wants to send me a message. Hold on. I don't know why. Hold on, one of you's trying to send me something. Whew. Okay, it's Katina. I don't know why. This phone never likes to accept the message. It's weird. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I'm going to try Cupcake 701. Katina, give me a minute. I'm trying to get it to come up. It won't even come up. This is weird. Katina, I'm calling you right now. Nitri, why you see it buffering? It's not buffering. Katina, I'm trying to call you, dear. Oh, I wasn't buffering. I was steady talking. My minutes are steady rolling. I don't know why I said buffering. Because my minutes were steady rolling. I don't know. Maybe that's YouTube. Oh, 5 seconds, Marshall? Okay. I didn't notice. I didn't get any type of swirling or nothing on my camera. Katina, if you're out there, I'm trying to call you. I sent you a message. You just messaged me, so I was sending you a message back. It's not ringing. Well, that's because I stopped calling. Okay, I'm calling you back. Oh, Lord have mercy. I can't win with this. I feel itchy. Ugh. 91 in the room, 66 thumbs up. Let's let the thumbs match the people in the room. Thanks a lot. No super chats during the live, please. Thank you. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can donate at Cash App, $ Big Angie 129. Thank you so much. Yeah, technology. Now look, I'm calling you, Katina. I don't know. I guess you don't want to talk. I don't know what's going on. I just rang you again. Devices. But that's the set information. So I brought you 3 stories for those joining in who didn't get to hear all the beginning. I've got 88 in the room. For those who did not see the beginning caption of this video, this is a 3-part, 3 compilation video. As far as Cupcake, Camille McKinney, the 2 suspects, Derica Brown and Patrick Stallworth, will be going to court in March, next 2 months from now. I don't know why I said next month. See, I be jumping the gun. I'm thinking I'm already in February. I can't even get out of January and I'm already thinking it's February. Excuse me. March is when the 2 suspects, Patrick Stallworth and Derica Brown, will be going to court pertaining to the kidnap and murder of Camille McKinney. They are both facing the death penalty. I've also brought you the story of Dimitri Cash Sr. out of New York, Greece, New York. He has been arrested and he is facing 3 charges pertaining to the children. Robbery, kidnapping, and burglary. In that said warrant, it states that he is complicit, whether he broke into the house or not, whether he had somebody else break in. They don't know exactly if the young lady who was arrested in Montgomery, Alabama, broke into that said house, but they feel like it was a planned kidnapping, and he is complicit one way or the other. And that's the said information coming out of New York. And then now we're talking about the Cali brothers pertaining to the timeline of the said footage, I guess from the neighbor's house of Mr. Trezell riding around the street. And he's basically saying it fits in the timeline of when they called in to report the children missing. But as I state, I do believe this was an intricate plan on behalf of the chief to keep the water still with the West Clan. He does not want to rock the boat. He wants these people to think everything is copacetic. And that's why he spoke up about the timeline. And to some of you, that's confusing, conflicting. But I think it is an intricate plan to keep Trezell and Jacqueline West even. Thinking everything is Gucci. Everything is all right. They don't suspect us. We're complying. We're going in when they want us to speak. Frankly, I thought they would not even comply, to tell you the truth. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much, honey. 87 in the room, 68 thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. Thank you all. Thank you. Yes, it was planned. Yeah. All this was planned by these people. And that's why I said I know he was watching the neighbors' homes. He knew that some of these neighbors had cameras. So he said, let me go out just in case somebody's out watching and could say, no, I didn't see him get out in his car, or I didn't see her get out in the car and look around, because you don't never know who's outside taking a walk, sitting on the front porch, anything. So naturally he knows detectives are going to go to the neighbors and question them and ask questions such as walking around. You know, that's what detectives do. They ask neighbors things. Did you see him get in his car? Did you see her get in the car? Did you see anybody walking around like they're looking for kids? Did you hear them hollering for the kids? Have you seen any kids? Have you seen anybody suspicious walking through the neighborhood? Did you see anybody walking with 2 little black boys? Did you see 2 little black boys getting in a car? Did you see 2 little black boys get snatched up? Did you see 2 little black boys riding on a bicycle? Hell no, ain't nobody seen them. Because they ain't never been there. And what's even more baffling, I'm 1 hour in to say this. I'm going to get to that, Marie, because that's a good question. What have the children told the detectives? Because if we are to believe that the children have told the detectives the 21st is when they last saw them, well, the 19th, because they allegedly were with grandma, that doesn't mean anything either. Perhaps the kids did make it to the house, but they're gone now. They're gone now. They're gone now. And we don't really know where these kids have been, what they've been going through living with these people. And I can't see all the children lying, because you always have to remember, he could have tried to school the kids on what to say on the 19th when they allegedly went to the grandmother's house or wherever the hell these kids went, because we really don't know anything. Somebody still will trip up because they're children. Always remember that. We're not talking about adults being interviewed. We're talking about school-aged children. So you can't sit here and think all those kids are going to comply with the lie. No. That's right, Nubian. You're right. Always more. That's why when they go to jail and prison, they realize they're in there with other people that's just as crazy and worse. But as far as the children, 10 years old. Yeah, the oldest child is 10 at least. You can't sit here and think that all those kids are spinning the same story about their life at the house when they last saw the children, if they went to the grandmother's house on the whatever date that was, before the 21st or 19th. You have no idea what those kids have told the detectives. And let me tell you, just like those questionnaires you take for your job, the military, police exams, whatever, they ask you a question 3 different ways. 3 different ways on those questionnaires, those old mental evaluations. They ask you the same question 3 different ways. You can best believe if your game ain't tight, you're going to answer one of those questions differently. And that's what they hope you do. So imagine talking to a child, asking him the same question 3 different ways. He's going to tell you something different. He's going to tell you something different. And there's no way I believe all those kids are spinning the same web. They probably are treated differently. But one thing I'm saying, hello?
I'm so sorry.
You all right? Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Turn all this on.
I got the other phone, it rings. I'm gonna make it stop and then I'll let you speak. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How you doing this morning? Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. God, you favor my sister.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Hello, Chad. How y'all doing?
Hey, everybody. She's on. I got Miss Katina. I swear, y'all favor. Y'all got the same skin complexion and everything. It's like looking at my baby sister. I gonna tell my sister, I'm gonna say, honey, you got a twin. Okay, Miss Katina, where you located?
I'm in Indiana.
Okay,
now.
that's fine. You don't have to tell me exactly. Just say Indiana. That's fine.
For 2 years
Okay.
now.
Okay, Katina, everybody is from Indiana. She's going to give you her said commentary pertaining to the case. Okay, Miss Lady, roll with it.
Look, this case is so crazy. It is so crazy, but people got to really understand. We got to be patient. We got to be real patient. They fit arrest them two adopted people.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna arrest them, but we have to be patient. We gotta let these police do what they gonna do, cause they gonna do something.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, them adopted parents, they scared. They very scared, cause they got people outside their house. They got everybody on YouTube. and especially them people outside the house, them people outside their house really, really, truly got them really, really scared.
Yeah.
But they got people on YouTube, they got people on the phone probably calling them, their family members probably talking stuff. I know they did. I'm hoping. Well, I don't know, because they all seem weird and crazy and retarded to me.
Yeah.
Especially the way they be looking. So they look all crazy.
Did the trench coats get to you?
Yes, I was like, what in the world? And then he just be just walking around. He act like he just in space somewhere. What is going on with them with all them sticks? But I'm still trying to figure out how in the world they get kids with
Girl, you crazy.
no income, because they was not supposed to get no kids with no income. And I know all about that because I just had my niece kids last year and this year.
I think, look, okay, I'm gonna address that. I'm gonna address that part about the income.
I know how in the world they got no kids.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you all something, and I'm gonna let her finish. I think they had income when they first applied for the children, and then once the money started coming in, they stopped.
And them CPS people, they need to go to jail right behind them.
Okay.
Because they ain't do their
Good
job.
luck with that.
They was not supposed to stop working.
Yeah.
They was not. They was
That's what I think.
Writing down everything that they done for them kids.
Right.
They was in foster care. They was supposed to write down everything that they done for them kids with their money.
Right.
They didn't do their job. They didn't do anything. They didn't do nothing right for them kids at all.
Okay.
They didn't come check on them kids. They didn't do nothing for those babies. They didn't care about them babies. CPS didn't even care about them babies. They just be trying to place them kids and get them kids off of it out somewhere. Long as they ain't got to take care of, they be just trying to place them kids, get them kids somewhere in somebody's home.
Well, what if you find out? Well, what if you find out that they were checking on the children?
What I was thinking was, because the mama had some kids, everybody had some kids. I thought they had somebody working up in the CPS office, and they just put them on and was like, "Look, here go y'all income. Look, y'all need to get some kids, and let's do it like this." But your whatever this doctor people, they didn't think about. They thought with this pandemic and they was closing everything down. They thought they was going to get away with this.
Right.
Because they was closing down doctor's office, school. They wouldn't let nobody come around. They wouldn't let nobody do anything.
Okay.
So that's why they thought they was going to get away with this.
Okay.
They thought nobody going to notice that them kids was gone.
Okay.
And they thought nobody going to care
about
those kids.
Right.
And I'm real upset with the mama, the biological mama.
Okay.
I'm upset with her. I'm upset with the daddies and them too.
Okay, because a lot of people don't like hearing about the biological mama. Katina, a lot of people don't like hearing about talking bad about the biological, because we've discussed that. Some people don't like nobody saying anything bad about Ryan Dean in the situation, but everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Talk bad about her, but I'm just saying.
She ain't heard a word I said, y'all.
Stop smoking that weed and do what she had to do to get her kids back. Because it's so much stuff happening going on in them foster homes, and kids are getting hurt. Kids they is committing suicides in foster homes. They doing a lot of stuff. Kids getting molested. It's women even getting kids for their husband to molest kids. So it's so much going on in foster homes, and people need to get their kids. For real. They need to go on and do what they have to do to get their kids.
Okay.
That's how I feel. I really feel like that. I feel like she should have just stopped what she had to do and get her babies. Now, look at her babies. Them is some beautiful kids, Lord. And that just makes me so sad because there's so much going on with kids out here. And see, my kids are grown.
Okay.
And I'm going to be a grandmama, but my kids are grown. They 25 and 24. And it just hurt my soul to see those babies just...
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I want you to think about what I'm getting ready to say, and to the chat as well. What if we find out somewhere down the road that CPS was coming by to visit, to do their visits? They've got documentation. They came by and did their visits for the children. They also were coming by up until the children got gone. What do you think about that? What if we find out that CPS was still doing whatever they were supposed to be doing? Because I don't know exactly how it worked as far as them visiting the kids and when they're supposed to come by and check on the foster kids and all that. But you understand what I'm saying?
See, when I had my nephews, when I had my four nephews, they used to visit us like twice a month. That's how they did every month, twice a month. That's it. And when she was like, "Oh, if your niece don't do right, would you adopt them?" I was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, after that, she was like, "After you adopt them," she was telling me that they wouldn't come back. They won't come back no more. But like sometimes she used to talk to me over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. That they do like phone visits and stuff. Well, I'm sure with the pandemic, that's all they were doing possibly, if anything. Right.
Do this.
Right.
So and sometimes if they know you and they trust you and they see how good of a job that you're doing with the kids, they will skip visits. And that's true. They will do that.
Okay.
So if they was doing that and travailed them, but what they could have told them? What honestly they could have told them? Because when she had to see the kids. She had to put her eye on the kids. She could not see now one of those boys.
Mm-hmm.
They all four of them had, even because one of the boys was in school. So she was like, "Well, I have to see all four of the boys." So she used to come afterward, and the bus used to he didn't get out of school till like 3:30, and she got off work at sometime at 4:00. So she was like, "Well, I just have to come after," because his bus didn't make it to the house that we were staying at till like 5:00. So she was like, "Well, I'll just come after work and I just sit there." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine with me," because she had to put her eyes on the kids. So I was like, "That's fine with me." So the CPS people have to put their eyes on the kids.
Right.
So it was nothing they could, Jacqueline or whoever could have told them people. It was nothing they could have told them people. So they really, really, truly have to see those kids. Only way they don't have to see those kids if they adopted.
Okay.
They don't have to come. They won't come around.
Even though they still paying a stipend. Katina, even though the state pays a stipend for the adopted children, you still don't think that they would even check, even though they're still paying money?
I think my friend said,
I don't know, because I don't know California law.
First did it until when they first, because she adopted some kids. She said when she first did it, she said they came around in the beginning, the first month, and then she said she didn't see them no more because they was her kids.
After a month.
Yeah, she said she didn't see them no more.
And she adopted them through CPS?
Yeah, she through CPS. She said she didn't see them no more. And she stayed in Michigan.
Okay.
And she was like, I didn't see them no more. And I was like, wow. She was like, they ain't come by. She was like, after you adopt the kids, you don't see them no more.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, wow. But every state is different. But she was like, you don't see them no more. And then she was like, and then after a while, that money do stop. So if that money stops, so that's why I was saying somebody out to see them kids, but if they got two foster kids, that's why, because somebody was going to ask about where the other two kids, if they knew them. That's why I was saying, if they had two foster kids and they know that they just adopted some kids, they probably would have been like, well, where the other two look, what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I said that would have been a tricky situation, whether the kids, whether they came to check on the children or not adopted, they still got to come check on the foster kids. So they're going to question about the other kids if they were coming around. Where are the other adopted children at?
Yeah.
So you got to think about that if they had foster kids still.
But what I was thinking is that either that or somebody reported something.
I think somebody could have called too.
Especially because I keep hearing, which it's so many rumors, you can't even really really believe what everybody's saying.
Well, don't nobody know anything. Nobody knows anything except for the people involved. So we don't know what to believe.
Say what is what, and then people get mad. Well, he's saying this. He throwing adopted people off. He making them feel comfortable. He making them not be on edge where they won't try to run.
Mm-hmm.
They better believe it. He coming for their butt. He coming for them. They done did too much. And then they should have been out screaming, hollering. It's nowhere for the police to in no house.
Well,
I would go bad.
I tell you, this is a crazy story. A crazy story. Because you don't know anything. That's what the problem is.
In California, Bakersfield, where nobody be having no sleep. And then I see, when they did that visual, I was like, what? Why ain't nobody come out?
I didn't like that.
No support.
That's what I said in my last video. I didn't like that.
And what really got me, I didn't see none of the family members come out. Nobody. It's like, I'm like, hey, bio family. What's y'all?
Somebody said something about her car. She didn't have a car or a way there. Katina, something. The weather was bad, and somebody said on Facebook. Somebody sent me the post through IG, and I didn't push it up to read it. But anyway, it was stated there was an issue with her getting there with a car or some business like that. The post on her Facebook.
Well, I'm just, everybody different, but honey, with me,
the weather was bad. That's what was said in the chat. The weather was bad.
I'm telling you, it would have took I'm telling you, it would have had to just take a tornado. That's the only way I wouldn't been looking for my hurricane. Something for me not to just look for my child. I'm telling you, I'm just telling you, it just would have took it.
Okay. Okay.
Your kids.
Well,
it just would have just took me, because I would have been out there for my babies, and it just too many things happening to these babies out here. I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out what happened to us. We used to be so protective. I don't mean no harm, because I got a little, right up in me, so I'm not bashing nobody, but us being black, we used to take care of our kids. We used to harm our kids. I don't understand what the hell then just happened. It's just like all our babies just passing away. We killing each other. It's just so much going on in this world. And you got to stay prayed up. And I be praying so hard, but it seems like so much stuff goes on. Mm-hmm. And I be like, Lord have mercy. But it just hurt me so bad for them babies. It really do. It just hurt me so bad. It just hurt me so bad. But that Jacqueline, I can take that bitch and her, excuse me, and the man and whoever else be walking around with him. I can whoop the shit out them motherfuckers. Excuse me. Ooh, it's your birthday.
His daddy. That's okay. I slips the tongue. But I will say they're empty. I just like I said, from everything from the interviews, from the one interview tells everything you need to know about Jacqueline and Trezelle West. They're empty vessels. They do not care. They never cared. I don't even say that they care for their own children, because there's no way you can care for your own kids and then take in strangers and differentiate and mistreat your foster adopted children, however you want to look at it. To me, you still vile. And if you do it to the adoptive kids, foster kids, you would do your own. That's just how I feel. Right. I don't separate the two.
They want their own kids like that, because their own kids didn't have no toys, no nothing. They have anything, not nothing for the kids. I mean, you had all that space out there. Them kids should have had a trampoline, a swing set, a pool out there. If you was gonna move out there in the desert, you should have had everything a kid need. PlayStation, all kind of stuff for them kids.
Well, they did. Look, they cared about themselves. That's why you saw the liquor bottles and the whiskey bottles in the garbage can. They were getting turned up. That's what they cared about, getting turned up. He knew how to go to the liquor store. He ain't thought about Toys R Us. He went to the liquor store.
When you go through foster,
that's what he wanted to do.
Foster classes, they really, really go through your whole life. That's what I'm saying. They didn't go through their whole life. They couldn't have.
Well,
They couldn't have went through their whole life. They do a background check.
well,
They
listen,
check
Katina,
out.
they checked something.
They check
I'm gonna
out.
tell you what I think. I think perhaps they thoroughly did a check. They worked at one time, but they got lax. The couple, they stopped working, and CPS probably didn't do random checks like most agencies probably should be doing, is do random checks on you, no matter if I like you or not. You passed the test, this and that. Every few months, there should be a database where they check on your background regardless, just to see if you got a charge or to see if you've been in trouble or domesticated calls or
Exactly.
police reports. But they probably don't. But I can't say because I don't know much about CPS there. I can't even speak about what they do here in Tennessee as far as calls.
I had to get my niece kids even down there when I went through foster classes. Girl, I'm telling you, they ran my fingerprints for every state.
I know,
So
but I'm
that's what
talking about.
saying.
I'm talking about periodically. Are they doing it periodically in California? That's what I'm saying.
Like they was gonna be doing that every 6 months to a year in Tennessee.
Well, we don't. But right now, we don't know that Jacqueline and Trezelle have no criminal record. We got to stick to what we do know. So we don't know what they got. That girl already told you. That's another Jacqueline West. That's not the same Jacqueline West. A YouTuber has already confirmed that the rumor that got out about her having a drug charge, that's not Jacqueline West that's married to Trezelle. So you see?
It's two of them with that name.
Well, you should know everybody got the same name somewhere in the world.
Right.
So the girl on YouTube said it. The one that we thought had the record is not her. So this is why I keep trying to explain to everybody. 9 times out of 10, they don't have no background. They don't have a background.
I didn't even know it was two of them.
The lady was born. Okay, somebody in the comments said they was born in 59. Katina, the person was born in 1959.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. If they don't have no record going in, they haven't gotten a record here as of late, then you don't know nothing. You just assuming the children are okay. They're not calling to complain about the kids. They're not complaining to send a child back. So how would you know what's going on? This is the reason why you have abuse, period, with biological parents and their children. Because nobody will speak up. If the children won't tell anything, family members, friends won't tell anything, then the abuse continues until somebody has to go to the damn emergency room. And usually by then it's too late.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, I know what that lady told me in Tennessee. She was like, every 6 months to a year we'll be checking, we'll be running your fingerprints. I was like, okay, well, I was a CNA, so I was like, okay, well, you can run my fingerprints anytime. So that's what she was telling me. And down here she told me the same thing. So I was like, all right, you can run my fingerprints. So she was like, so I don't know how it is down there. So for Jacqueline and them, but they didn't deserve no kids. They don't even deserve their own kids. And
well, that's how I feel. They don't deserve their own kids. Innocent, I like to make that clear in the video. I don't think they need children, period. If sold or killed the kids. And that's just my opinion about Jacqueline and Trezelle. They don't deserve nobody's children or their own. Well, Katina, is that all you want to tell the chat, dear?
Yeah,
thank you so much. Okay, well, get you some rest. Okay.
All right, y'all have a good night. But I'm gonna get back in this chat.
Okay, baby.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
They need to hurry up and get locked up. But y'all have a good night and happy birthday.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I'm gonna see you something next week. I wish you get a PayPal. Sign up for a PayPal.
Listen, you can't get the cash out.
Cause every time I try to send for a cash app, sign up for a cash app, I don't know what I be doing.
Okay.
And then my friends who always come, but they cash app, they money begins took, and I don't know what they.
I haven't had any problems.
And I don't need my money.
Well, I'm just saying I haven't had any problems.
You do a PayPal, do that, and I'll send it, or I can MoneyGram you some change. I don't either way. Just
well.
You can do. I can send you something.
Well, honey, then you just don't worry about it, baby. It's all good. I thank you for joining us, okay?
The truth. It's just like we family. You be having me, I be down laughing. This the only thing be having me laughing because I stay in the house, so
Okay.
it's my entertainment. So you be having me laugh.
Well, thank you so much.
So you're a good person. I can vibe with good people. So God bless you.
You too. You get some rest, okay?
You're doing to speak your truth, and don't let these people upset you, girl.
Okay.
Don't be just breathe hard and smile. So
yes, ma'am. I want you to take a breath too, Miss Katina.
Let somebody else call.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna stay on. I'm not gonna stay on much longer.
Be going up too.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, baby. Have a good night. Good morning, rather. Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. That was Katina.
I'm trying to see how you get all this.
Hit the X. I hit the X, baby. Okay. Okay. That's the sad information. 85 in the room. Thank you all for holding on. Trying to bear with a queen. Ooh, Lord. Let me check something right quick. Okay. Woo! That was a lot. Okay. Queen, you got breakfast, right? No, I don't. I don't really eat breakfast. Coffee is about it for me. But seriously. And I'm going to wrap this up because I'm almost topping at 2 hours, and I would like to keep the lives down under 2 hours if possible. Jacqueline and Trezell do not deserve children. They had no business procreating their own children. They had no business fostering children. They had no business adopting children. They created this ruse of children going missing for some reason. I do believe that somebody was on their tail pertaining to the children. If not, I believe they were just vengeful old people. Something could have popped off with one of the children, and they took them both out. Either way, they had no business having kids. And we're not going to know what is the truth pertaining to this case until the chief of police, FBI, whichever, decides to tell us what they have against Trezell and Jacqueline West. What evidence they have to say, hey, we have this, we have that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, KK says, I think the wife is pregnant. Well, that heifer can be pregnant. Good luck with that. Hopefully you can go find your ass somewhere to sleep with your baby. Because if you ain't taking no baths, wherever you're staying, oh well. Because I never heard of staying anywhere where they didn't have running water. Somebody help the queen out. I don't care about neither. I don't care about Trezell and the trench coat mafia. Him and that pawpaw got going on. The walking sticks, the dog, the cat, the monkey, the billy goat. I don't care nothing them folks talking about out there in California. Because I know that all this is going to come to an end real soon. And it's going to be a lot of barking dogs coming out underneath dog houses, sheds, and everything else. And that's just what I believe. Helen Lee. Okay. These two are vile people. And I believe the people who were the closest to them that they dealt with knew that the children were missing. Now, these family members may not have known what exactly happened to the children, but they knew that the children were out of their custody. That I do believe, and I put everything I own on that. The big, if you're trying to cash at me, sweetheart, it's $ Big Angie 129 if you are into the Cash App system. Any donations to the channel, thank you. These two people are guilty. They've let us know they're guilty. Their actions have shown that they're guilty. They have shown no love, no respect for the children. They have been lying to the public. 9 times out of 10, they have been lying to their relatives as well. But I do believe the closest relatives that they deal with knew the children have been gone for some time. That's obvious. And as far as you all seen, another thing I want to touch on before I tap out of here, the issue with this SUV and the video that's been uploaded on the other YouTuber's channel about the SUV being at the house and taking the children to the house. Let me say this. You all need to realize nothing stops in a person's life because they are thought to be criminals, suspects in a crime. Their life does not stop. So the fact that you see a video of the mother going to the house with the said children 4 or 5 days after the 21st means nothing. That's their house. They still live there. Perhaps the mother was going there to get something out of the house, papers, documents, turn a light off. I don't know. The only time we should be suspicious of the grandmother going to the house is if it was the night before the chalk popped up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. Don't focus on that stupid stuff. Focus on what makes sense. Did the grandmother go to the house before the chalk popped up? Did Pookie Ray Ray send somebody in the house the night before the chalk showed up? Or was it a random person who wanted to make them look guilty, put the chalk on the back porch? See, you got to think about what's being revealed to you. Because what's being revealed may not be the spoken word. It's how it looks. And what something looks like don't mean it is. The chalk looks suspicious, but we don't even know who put the damn chalk there. It could have been a random psychopath out here that's just as crazy as the West Clan. I'm going to make them look bad. Let's go put that chalk on the porch. Or Jacqueline or Giselle put the chalk back there. As I told you, could the chalk have all... Sorry about that, you guys. I was buffering. Wait 1 second. 1 second. Nitra's calling. Hold on. Still ringing. Hold on, baby. Okay, sorry about the buffering. As I state, you don't know what's the truth pertaining to these people. You don't know if somebody random put the chalk there. You don't know if they double back to the house and put the chalk outside. You don't know if the mother came in the night before. That's the only time I'd be suspicious of the grandmother coming to the house. Now, yes, I understand. Someone wants to say that she's a mandated reporter. She has foster kids. Thinking logically. She don't care about none of that. That's her kid. That's her daughter. She's going to their house to do whatever. Can't nobody tell her not to go there. Somebody could say, well, the kids ain't supposed to be going there. It's a pandemic. That doesn't mean anything. The law can't tell you where to go with your kids. The law can't tell you to take your kids out in a pandemic or not. There's no law that says you can't go somewhere with your children because it's COVID. I think we all know that. And this is why I have a problem with the fishing stuff. Stick to what is relevant. Stick to what is relevant. These people's lives did not stop because the children are missing. They still gotta eat. They still gotta drink. They gotta go to the bathroom. They still gotta shop. They're gonna do basic stuff. Their life didn't stop because the children are missing. It's never gonna stop. So that the woman went to the house with the kids. Pandemic, no pandemic. She doing what she wanted to do, and that's what she did. She went to the house. She did whatever the hell she had to do in that house pertaining to her daughter and son-in-law. That's what she did. Now, as far as taking the children there and children are missing from that home, she's going to have a good defense and say, well, that's my daughter's house. I was taking care of business. I'm not going to stop speaking to my daughter or helping my daughter because her 2 kids are missing. That's exactly what she would tell authorities or CPS if they were to question her about taking her adopted children to the house after the fact. Trust me, these folks going to have an answer to any question from detectives and CPS. All right, Nitra, hit it.
First of all, I want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you so much, friend. What's going on?
Basically, I'm chiming back in on the case to say what I didn't call in last time when we were talking about this, and you brought it up where the chief had to tell people to stop harassing these people.
Yeah.
And I recall that it was a couple of nights, the exact same thing about following these people, harassing these people, and people trying to play detective because if you recall, I clearly stated, as you are saying right now, their lives is not going to stop because they are not under arrest.
Right.
This is for play. Have suspicions and say they did this and they did this.
Right.
If the police and the DA don't serve them with a warrant for arrest,
right,
they are free to roam, go and come as they please,
right,
be wherever. They need for people to do is use common sense. If we sit back and pay attention and let the police do.
Sorry, buffering. You know when I talk about California City, it buffers. Sorry. Go ahead, Nitra. Finish on up, baby.
Yeah, and so like I was saying, if everybody would sit back and let the police do what they're supposed to do and watch the case unfold, then you would get answers. But you're not going to get answers playing detective, going to people's Facebook pages, going to different channels, trying to put it together yourself. Because the truth of the matter is, the people that's involved know the truth. We would never know fully the whole truth because we weren't there. So people get kind of caught up with saying they need to be arrested, they need to do this. I agree they should be arrested. That is to be arrested. But if people keep playing detective with these people harassing them, it's not going to be a case because it's too many fingers in the pie already.
Right.
And that's why we have rumors that makes absolutely no sense. Anybody with common sense know it works like this. If you thought I stole a bag of chips out the store because I was there with a big coat on, you can assume I stole the chips. But until the police serve me with a warrant and arrest me and it comes from the DA office, I'm free to go where I want to, whether you think I did something or not.
Right.
It's not rocket science.
Right.
It's not rocket science. And if we truly want justice for these young men, for these babies, then everybody is going to have to allow the police to work.
Right.
If people want to raise awareness about CPS, adoptions, or safe havens for people that buckle under pressure with children, that's something people can invest time in. Print some flyers. Join the search parties. Do things like that. Make sure the person you stay next door to or your relative that's struggling with kids, why don't you go to those people that you see that could possibly end up like have a situation that these people found themselves in and offer assistance that way? Because it's just not them. It's tons of people that have kids that can't handle it.
Yes, it's true.
They
Very
can't
true.
handle it. And unfortunately, they take it out on the kids.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we find out once it's too late, once the abuse started.
Right.
But if you know someone right now that in this situation where they are not treating their children right, why don't you step in and call CPS for those children, or step in and offer a word of encouragement or help with the kids or do something.
Okay.
And that way, we can take the focus of all the rumors if everybody check on the people that's close to them, and they will see that this happens more often than not.
It's a whole lot often. It's a whole lot often.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I say, if you know somebody, put that energy in helping your fellow man that you might see struggling with this same issue. Or what you do is find out how CPS works. Maybe go to your state representative and see can bills be passed for stricter laws for people adopting kids or something. And let's make a change their way instead of everybody having a lot of rah, rah, rah. It ain't nothing going to change the rah, rah, rah.
Right. Because that's what's going to happen is that everybody's moaning and complaining about who ain't doing what. CPS at fault. The chief at fault. Y'all ain't said nothing about the FBI. See, y'all ain't want to call the FBI out. But the point is, like you said, tomorrow, like I said, you wake up, it's a new story tomorrow. It's a new story 2 hours from then. It's a new story by Sunday. It doesn't stop. The madness and abuse does not stop.
The Ferris wheel.
The Ferris
wheel. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, baby.
Basically, if we do that, maybe we need to look to representatives of your state and see what the laws are for CPS. And maybe we need to make some amendments in it so that more children don't end up in harm's way.
Right.
And
well, hopefully a lot of places will change.
Once again, so I can say it for them. This did not start with CPS, the FBI, the CIA, or the police station. It started with the biological mother.
Okay. Well, hopefully states will see this story, just like the story in New York where the guy broke into the house, the foster care house with a side person. This shows where they need to start. What I'm trying to say, revamping their systems.
Right.
Everybody needs to start from the bottom all the way up to the top. You need to start revamping the system as far as who knows where the children are, social workers following through with their visits, their paperwork, their phone calls, pop-up visits. I honestly believe in pop-up visits. I think that's the right thing to do with foster care children and adoptive children, or if you just in the system because you was accused of something. You pop up, you can definitely find out everything you need to know. You make sure you have a second eyewitness. You make sure you have video cam running to show whatever you have seen and heard. That way it can never be a misunderstanding of a he said, she said. Ever.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe if we go to state representatives and maybe in your county you can do that, I think it would make a world of difference and hopefully, change the system for the better.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is something's going to happen bad because if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. But if a person knows they did their duty, they went through, they followed with their paperwork, they followed with everything they were supposed to do as far as a CPS worker or supervisor, there's really nothing you can do once you leave. They can't sit outside your house and watch you. They can't go in your house unwarranted to see how you're treating the children. And if nobody ever comes forward to say, hey, these children are mistreated, hey, I'm being mistreated by these people, hey, I noticed something with the neighbor and their kids, hey, I ain't seen those kids, then how would CPS know what the hell is going on in your house? Because that's what we're talking about now with these people. These people live a reclusive lifestyle, so you wouldn't know what's going on in their house if nobody's telling you anything, if the kids aren't going complaining. And let's say this, they're homeschooled. So who the hell are those kids getting ready to go tell? They don't treat me well. They're not feeding me. They ain't buying me no clothes. I ain't got no change of underwear. I'm hungry. They don't go outside and play. Who are they going to tell they're being mistreated? You got to think about all of that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just agreeing with you, and I said, unfortunately, that's the sad part.
Yeah, that is the sad part, because a lot of people pass background checks every day for jobs, work, school, church, but you do not know people. You don't know that the heart is genuine. You don't know anything. You only know something when somebody decides to say, I noticed something foul, and now I want to tell it. And then you have to wait to see who's going to investigate, be it the state office or authorities, and you sit by and you wait. And nothing can happen until then.
Remember, state workers are very overworked and underpaid.
They are. They don't have enough people working. This is what's the problem in the United States for people who do not know. They don't pay social workers any money. They don't pay school teachers any money. This is the reason why even in this state, they were paying people to go to school to teach because nobody wants to be a teacher because teachers don't make any money. Okay, well, think about a social worker. It's not any different. If you're not willing to pay a worker a decent pay, why would a person want to go sit in a schoolhouse for 4 years to get a degree in social work if they're not going to make any money once they graduate from college? That's common sense. So they don't have enough staff to do all the paperwork. Then you count how many people are in foster care. So for all those that really want to get ignorant, let the queen school you. When you're talking about 400-some thousand people in foster care, perhaps, and you're crying about a worker, you got to count how many people actually work in the office per how many kids in that jurisdiction are in the system. And they got to shuffle paper, calls, visit. They only got 2 legs. They only got 2 arms. That's on the state to hire adequate staff to say we need more people to go out into the field, go do home visits, because government offices haven't been open. They haven't been open. So this was a perfect time for you to do some crazy stuff with your kids. This was the perfect time. March 2020, up until now, You want to do something facetious with your adoptive and foster children or your own children, this was the time to do whatever the hell you wanted to do. Oh my God, a caseworker ended up sleeping with my ex-husband. If I didn't find it out, but I would have. Oh Lord, now you done really went. Jenny, please, are you killing me? I can't.
Say happy. You have a fabulous day.
Thank you so much, Nature. Love you. Thanks for helping with the chat too, honey. Okay. Nitra is gone. I think she hung up. Okay. Marshall, you want to call before I check out of here? I'm just saying, I'm the type of person, I don't put the blame on anybody. I'm here. Hold on 1 second. It's ringing on the other line. Hold on 1 second, baby. How are you doing, Mr. Marshall?
Fine. How are you, birthday girl?
I'm alive and I'm well. I'm alive and I'm well.
Hello, family. How you all doing?
Hold on 1 second. It's still ringing on. It's still ringing on my other device. So wait 1 second. Okay, it's back now. Okay, thank you, Nitra, for joining me, and thank you, Nitra, for all your kind words and helping with the chat. And now I have on Mr. Marshall. Marshall, I want you to divulge who you are to the chat because I think it's only fair that you all actually know who Marshall is and what his title is, because some of you really don't know who Marshall is, and he's been commenting in my chat for a couple of weeks since I've been going live. And yes, I'm putting him on blast because I think some of you need to know who's been in my chat. So anybody that's got any commentary about the law, CPS, investigations, you'll finally know who Mr. Marshall is, and he's going to reveal himself today. Because I don't want no more misunderstandings about what we be talking about. Because they don't know. A lot of people talk, but they don't really know what they be talking about. And they don't know the law. They don't know investigations. So I think it's time you let everybody know who you are.
Okay. I didn't know you were going to put me on blast like that, though.
Well, do you not want them to know?
Anyway, the reason why I sit back and listen to
you didn't answer my question, Marshall. Marshall.
Look at the chat.
Marshall.
Yeah.
Are you going to reveal yourself or you don't want it revealed?
Oh, no, I'm going to reveal.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Okay.
And, okay, let me do this first.
You might want to say that first.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I retired from law enforcement of 35 years. I retired as a sergeant with the Maryland Capitol Police Department in the state of Maryland. I have investigated cases of child abuse. I have investigated cases of first, second, third degree murders, kidnapping, and all of that kind of stuff. So again, the police department, the FBI, and the chief is not going to give you all the information that you all want. They're going to give you bits and pieces for you, for you to linger on. And that's all they're going to do. Until the facts of the case, until there is probable cause, more than a mere suspicion, to arrest those people involved with these kids. That's what they're going to do. They're going to hold back until they get all of that in order. Once they get it in order, then they're going to either give it to the grand jury and or the state district attorney's office, and then that's when you all going to find out who did what to who.
Okay.
But until that time, all they're going to do is give you bits and pieces. They're not going to give you every and anything that you may want to hear. So you have to be patient. Job. I had one. I'm sorry to say this like it is, but I had one. The little girl.
You breaking up. You are breaking up, Marshall.
girls.
I think he's breaking up. His Wi-Fi is breaking up.
Huh?
You are breaking up.
Huh?
You are breaking up.
Oh, okay. And this stepfather and beat this girl.
Start over. You need to repeat that because you were breaking up, so they can't hear what you just said.
Okay, I was investigating a case where the stepfather had beat this little girl's brain, and she was only about 3 years old. He took a sledgehammer and cracked her skull several times. And that case took 3.5 years because we had to make sure we had enough evidence. We interviewed all parties concerned. And when we got everything in order, we took it to the grand jury. The grand jury took it to the state district attorney's office, and then we did the arrest.
So why was it? So why did it take 3 years? Was he out on bond at the time, or what happened?
If I can remember, he was a drug dealer.
Okay.
And it was something about some money. It was something about some money.
Okay.
That was going on that this girl supposed to had owed him.
Okay.
And so that's what happened in that case.
So did they have proof in the beginning that he beat the girl, or who told it?
Oh yeah. I mean, forensic. Oh yeah. We worked that case. We worked that case. You know, and like we did, we was giving bits and pieces to the public. We was letting him do what he wanted to do.
Right.
Until that time, we had everything that we needed, and we grabbed on hold to that boy.
So was he walking free is what I'm asking. Was he walking free before he went to court?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
We didn't have everything that we needed at the time.
Okay, so that's because people are gonna wonder, how was he free? How did he get a hold of the child? Who told it? Was he a suspect?
He was part of the family.
Okay.
He was the stepfather.
Okay. So was the child left in his care when the child had the abuse?
The young lady had gone down to the store.
Oh yeah, they're always left alone, aren't they?
Okay, yes. Gone down to the store, and when she came back, he wasn't there, but the baby was.
Okay, so the baby was there, he was gone, but was he in the place when she left with the baby?
Was he what?
Was he in the place with the baby before she left to go to the store?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she has to prove, or as they say, it's the burden is on the state. The state has to prove he was actually in the house with the child to inflict the harm.
Right.
Right. So there we go. So it's tit for tat. He did it. She did it. No, he did it. She did it. Am I about correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But we had some people who, wanted to speak up. So we had to make sure that when they told us what they did tell us, that we went, that we spoke to them more and more and more.
Okay.
To get more and more information. And then once that happened, some people say snitches get stitches.
Yes, I've heard that.
When it comes to a child, there's no such thing.
Right. But that's not how people think. If you're raised to think a certain way, or you've been in an environment to think that talking to the police is wrong, telling things that go on in the street life is wrong, that's what you've been taught. And you grow up believing that. But see, what I don't understand with that mentality is I understand that people will retaliate. So it is a dangerous thing to tell on somebody, especially when you live in an environment where people don't mind shooting, killing, stabbing you for opening your mouth. But you can't go out here and tell somebody else, don't snitch, don't tell what Pookie did. But then when something happens to you or your mama, now you want everybody to rally and come forward and give information. It's either one or the other. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people like to ride the fence.
Right.
And preach all that junk about snitching. But when it's their family, they want everybody to come forward and tell. It's crazy. It's very crazy.
Yeah. Some people say it takes a village.
Yes.
Okay. My thought about that, it depends on the people.
Right. In the village, right.
Yeah, because your village can become muddy waters.
Yeah. Well, the villages ain't the same now. So the villages got some dusty pilgrims.
Yes. Oh,
So you can't expect some
most
dusty
definitely.
pilgrims to come forward and give information about who got shot, robbed, stabbed. People see stuff every day and they will never tell the police what they saw. And we know this from later down the road, people waiting to come out 10, 15 years to say, yeah, I was looking out the window. Yeah, that was him. That was her. Yeah, I saw him beat him with a bat, but I was scared. Which, like I said, I understand that because we don't want people to get hurt in trying to testify,
Right.
or tell. And witnesses have come up dead.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Right.
Most definitely. And the final thing that I want to say
Yes, thank you.
is this. Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Big Angie.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you so much. God
You're
bless
welcome,
you.
babe.
I hope one day we get to meet. I hope one day we get to meet. But I thank you for everything. I thank you for your kind disposition in my chat. You're probably one of the most level-headed people in the chat. Not to throw no shade to any of the other ladies and men that join us, but you're always mild-mannered, and I'm glad you have revealed yourself to let people know that you have worked in law enforcement, and you give your commentary, and I respect everything that you've brought to the chat. And I think people need to know that because a lot of times people just sit and think there's just random people commenting. But like I told Duty Ron, people need to hear a law enforcement side so they can get a better understanding of why they're not hearing what they want to hear from the chief of police.
Right.
And you can't understand that if you don't, one, know the law, and two, you're not hearing from law enforcement that can show you and give you information to show you why you're not hearing anything.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true.
But I thank you.
Yeah. You're quite welcome.
Thank you for my birthday
quite
song. And I'd like to know, what the hell are y'all doing up at 4:30 in the morning? I got 97 people in the chat, 89 thumbs up. On January 29th, my birthday. I'm 50 today. I'm highly favored and I am blessed.
All right.
What she
now,
said,
you say, buddy.
right. Thank you so much, Marshall. I love you and I'll talk to you later, sweetheart.
Okay.
Okay,
man.
thank you for
Bye-bye.
the song. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that was Mr. Marshall out of Maryland. He has let you all know that he has worked with the Capitol Police, and he has worked in law enforcement. He worked as a sergeant. So all the commentary that you've been listening to Mr. Marshall over the past couple of weeks pertaining to this case is from his own opinion and personal experience with working with law enforcement. So now the cat is out of the bag, and I'm glad he revealed himself. And he did show me a receipt to prove he is who he is. And I think he's a very humble person. And he's been in the chat this whole time, and he never revealed to any of you that he worked in law enforcement. He just sat here quietly, commenting like the rest of you, never revealing who he was. And then the other day he sent me a receipt to prove to me who he is. And so I'm so glad that he did that. And it is almost 5 in the morning and you all are up following the queen. But I want to thank you all for the birthday wishes. I want to thank you for following the queen, subscribing and sharing. And it's been a journey. I've been on this box for 1.5 years on YouTube, and I want to thank all of you for your support. And as I state, we can agree to disagree, and I try to hold my temperament. I have my little days where I get a little frustrated with the chat because sometimes I think that some people just aren't listening to what I'm trying to say and the point I'm trying to get across. And he said it once again, and it's sad I have to have somebody else come in to chat to say what I've been saying for weeks now. You can't get everything that you want pertaining to this case because it would tank the case if the chief FBI were to tell you exactly what they were thinking, and also what somebody thinks isn't also the spoken word. They have to have facts and proof to back up their thoughts. And frankly, that's what we want, because we want them to get this right. We don't want no loopholes. We don't want any craziness jumping off to where these people get arrested if they're indeed involved in selling and or murdering the children. We don't want to look up and they're able to get off, make bond, walk around, get a hung jury, get some type of foolishness pertaining to the case, because you have seen so many cases where people have walked. They've been in jail for 4 or 5 years, been in prison 5 years, 10, and then somebody goes up for an appeal. They go up for an appeal, and then they're let out. You don't want this. She loaned him money in June bothers me. Okay, Valerie's talking about the lady. See, that's the whole thing too, Valerie. That's what I'm saying. All this is fishy, ishy, wishy. Thank you all. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much, KK Lady. Okay, thank you so much. Can you answer me so I know you got it? Oh, Helen Lee. I'm sorry, Helen. I didn't mean to try to look over you, baby. I don't see anything, sweetie. I don't see anything. Hold on one second, honey. Helen, I don't see anything, because I'm in the menu right now as I speak to you. Helen, it's Cash App, $, Big Angie 129. It's in the description of this video if you need verification. This has been on my mind for a while. I couldn't shake it. Valerie, I understand what you're saying. And that's why I kept saying this case is a very weird and odd case, because we're not getting information from the authorities. You all are getting what you want. And as I state, he can't tell you everything. I'm curious about the money too. I don't talk about it much, dwell on it, because like I said, you know, you can't get a receipt to anything hardly. So that lady coming forward allegedly to tell another YouTuber she gave him money for the house, whichsoever. I'm not going to say that we don't have people in high places that can give us money. People can give you money for anything. I mean, I've been given a lump sum of money, but that person was allegedly my friend at the time, supposedly. So they gave me a lump sum of money. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't say he doesn't have good friends to give him money, but due to the fact that we're dealing with this case, one could wonder what the relationship is to that person. I don't know. I don't know. She wanted his loan to go through. I don't know. She came forward on her own. Okay. It is my understanding she came forward on her own. I don't think this was a loan. Okay, I think that was a purchase. I don't know, Valerie. I can't tell you anything pertaining to that house, the sale of the house. All I know is what was going on with the lady who was trying to sell a house. She got interviewed by Chris Thorns, another YouTuber, and she went through a lot dealing with them for 6 months, wrangling back and forth about the house. That's really all I knew in the beginning, is that this lady, her and her husband were trying to move, sell their house. She went in the belly of the beast, fooling with them for 6 months. She finally got the house sold. She's now living in Arizona with her husband. Husband was leery about her talking to any YouTubers about this said situation. What about the 192 loan? I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody is entitled to ask, of course, what they want to ask about the case. But people are going to ask because these people seem facetious and suspicious. So naturally, people are going to question the $5,000, question her, what her dealings are with Mr. Tazell. As far as the loan with the bank, I don't know anything. I don't know how you can get a loan anyway if you don't have any income. So see, that should be an issue right there. She's been working on the home loan since April. Hold on a minute. Let me pull that back up. She had been working on his home loan since April. She was desperate for the loan to go through. Well, like I said, I don't know all the intricate details about the loan because I really didn't try to dig into the those other YouTubers' commentary about the woman. That kind of just flew over my head. I briefly listened to some stuff about that lady on that girl's channel where I went live with her asking a question, but I really have not just sat and cared. There's just certain things I will focus on about a case, certain things I just don't. That's been one thing I really haven't focused on, was the woman who gave the money, the loan business, because what I do is I use my own common sense to ask myself, how can you get a loan for a house when you don't have no damn job? Okay, baby, you have a wonderful morning, be truthful. Why and how can you get a loan for $200,000 when you don't have no job? And we know banks are the ones you go through to get a loan for your house. No matter what you put down, you still got to be approved to get the loan for the house. And the fact that that lady went 6 months wrangling with these folks should tell you something right there. Thank you, baby. Thank you. 6 months, back and forth. Like I said, I personally wouldn't have went on and on with that couple for 6 months. I'm trying to get my money. I want to get the hell out of here. But maybe she thought they could come up with the money, so that's why she kept on going round and round with them. Was the lady that lent from the bank? I don't know, because like I said, I didn't dwell on that lady's testimony to that YouTuber. I just let that fly over my head because I guess I really didn't want to care about what they were doing. His brother probably signed for him. He could have. He could have. He could have. Because who's to say the brother, whomever, help? You can always transfer a deed over to a house. Remember that. Remember that. Somebody can always help in some type of way, get a house, buy it for you, then put it in your name. So now it's in your name. Hello, Mary Blues. Sorry, didn't mean to ignore you. So you don't really know anything about any of these people, the houses, who owns a house, who lives over here in Washington, D.C., owns a house, you just know nothing. And you don't know what's relevant to the case. And like I said, a lot of people like to argue back and forth about what's relevant in the case. Well, people are going to ask questions, of course, pertaining to stuff. But I choose what I dwell on. And I just never dwelled on the loan situation. I guess I just didn't really care. It bothered me because I was under the understanding it was a friend of Drizel's, not from the bank. Well, Valerie, that's what I thought too, because that's what they've been saying. A friend gave the money, the $5,000, but I'm just going to be truthful. I don't know how the hell $5,000 can get you in the go of a $192,000 house. And 9 times out of 10, you had to get a loan from the bank. So how could $5,000 even put a spot on 192? We really don't. And I backed off because I wasn't going to argue with anyone either. And it seemed odd a friend that would lend that much money. Well, $5,000 is, as you said, not how many kids he had. $5,000 is a lot to give up to anybody. I don't care who you are. No, she was a stand-in one day for the realty lady. Okay, Jenny, see, I don't know much about it. Because like I said, I didn't listen to that girl's commentary long about the lady who gave the money. So I really don't know all what was said and done. Because like I told you, I just didn't dwell on what she had to say. But anybody can use sense. 5,000 versus 192 ain't nothing. You needed a bank to get the loan. He still had to stand account for how he can pay the mortgage. It is, but if you are close enough to lend a friend $5,000, don't you think you would know how many kids they had? Well, of course. Oh, A. Miller said the closing costs. It don't pass the fish test. That's the point. Something is murky in the water. Something is murky in the water. Because no matter how you look at it, who gave up $5,000, whichsoever, you still have to ask yourself the ultimate question. Even if that lady never gave up the money, whatever it was for, closing costs, whatever, how could you get approved for a damn near $200,000 loan when you don't work anywhere? They caught her loaning the money and got him for frauding. Okay. See, I have to do some investigation about that. Hello. Okay, because I don't know. They caught her loaning the money and him got. So what is the deal with the lady that gave up the money? Does she work in banking or no? Was this person that voluntarily came forward someone that bought the kids? Could their foster care payments be included as income? Well, money slaughter, possibly. 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 They could have used that, and naturally, they probably did. Tell the bank loan officer, hi, we are professional foster care hoarders, and this is how we get our money every month, and we generate blah, blah, blah. And they probably took receipts to show how much money they get a month through foster care. And who's to say somebody finally signed off on it? Yes, she worked for the realty company. Okay, so she worked for the realty company. So why would a realty company give somebody $5,000? I'm confused. Her mama is a foster parent too. She has 3 kids. Marshall, so it was a bill case. See, that's even more crazy to me if that's true. Why would a realty person give you money? A realty company is in the business of making money, not giving money. A realty company is in the business of making money, not giving money. So that, I'm not speaking on what's truth or not pertaining to this lady and the $5,000. But like I said, when you look at the amount of what the house costs, it's still a lot of money. Never heard of a realty company giving away money. I haven't either. It caused the length of time to purchase be on hold. And that's why I'm saying, if you would just listen to what was said from the beginning, everything you need to know about this case has already been revealed to you. You got to listen. The only thing you don't have is a visual of the children. But everything else has been told to you in little bitty grains of salt. Little bitty grains of salt. They've told you what they are about. The lady went on the Chris Thorne show who sold the house. It doesn't take 6 months to get a damn loan if you have viable income. Stay woke. Stay woke. 6 months. She went back and forth with her realtor and whoever he had working for him to sell her house. So anybody with sense should know, if you have viable income, you should be able to go to your bank and apply for a bank loan to purchase a house. It would only be a problem if you don't have sufficient funds, income coming in to pay the bank loan back and the mortgage. 45 days, if that. They can't make money unless your loan goes through. That's why they did some slick, underhanded stuff. Well, A. Miller, possibly. That's why I said I haven't followed through with all that went on with that lady. But common sense should tell all of us the testimony from the person who owned the house originally is really the camel and all the rest. They were supposed to have their own income before even getting foster kids. Right, Valerie, right. Right. So that's why I think they were using the income from the foster children as their sole income when they went into trying to get a loan from the bank. That's just really common sense. We don't even have to have anybody testify about that. I haven't seen that interview with the old owner. Well, you need to go to the Chris Thorne show for anybody that's curious about the homeowner who owned the house. She will give you information pertaining to the house, that it was once a grow house before she got it, how she came into contact with Giselle, trying to get rid of her house, how long it took her to sell her house, how he came to her suspicious with a strange looking guy that she said looked like he was from the mob. This is all after know anything about $5,000 and all that old stuff. I'm telling you. The fact it took 6 months should tell you everything you need to know. Something was suspicious. She tells you in her testimony to Chris Thorne's, a YouTuber, that it took 6 months just to finalize everything, and how suspicious stuff looked while she was dealing with him. Okay, sorry, lady, the order came down from the state off. Okay, they shouldn't have ever had been given the kids a CPS requirement. That drives me crazy. Well, see, this is why I keep saying to everybody, we don't know the protocol with California and CPS. Only somebody that can give testimony would be a social worker or a supervisor to give us the stipulations of what they look for, what they ask for, what they do thereafter approving you, what's the protocol on everything. And until we get somebody from CPS, we're never going to know. We're not going to know if they do random background checks after approving you, how many times they come to visit, how many times they send somebody out, how many times they do phone conversations. We will never know because CPS probably will never tell because right now this is an open investigation. So they're not going to tell. You says, I do, I'm here, and the protocol is written. My friend has a child in the system. Right, but what I'm saying is every state is different. And we don't know exactly, pertaining to this case, everything that was done from day one. That means when they went in to apply for foster care as foster parents, who was on the case, how many workers have been on their case. See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. The very intricate details. We're never going to know because nobody's ever going to tell that. Because so long as you work for CPS, you're not getting ready to go on the dotted line and say, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, I worked the case. Yeah, I approved them. Yeah, I followed through with them this many times as a worker. Yeah, I'm the supervisor. They can't tell you that. And now that this is an open investigation pertaining to these children, you're definitely not going to get anybody that's going to go on record and say, this is my role and this is how I was involved with this case. The old stuff we don't know. CPS incredibly messed up. Well, everything's messed up only because we're dealing with human beings. You see, this wouldn't even be an issue had they did right by the children. Let's just stay woke on that. This would not be a story had they not reported the children missing and they've done something. Had they never reported the children missing, we would not know of Trezell and Jacqueline West. We would not know of these two babies missing. We would not know of the rumors that have been repeated. We would not have YouTubers talking about them. We would not have people lying and making up stuff. We wouldn't hear stuff about chalk, a bag in the desert, cameras in the windows, house being boarded up, white SUVs coming and going with adopted children, who grandmama, granddaddy got adopted kids, foster kids, who else is involved, got group homes. I found that out on another YouTuber's channel. Some guy named Asa that's related to Mr. Watkins, the brother. He's in the foster care system with group home boys. I don't know what the hell's going on with these people, but they tend to like dealing with other people's children. Now, one could say, oh, they're caring people. Then somebody else could say, no, maybe not. I don't know. And I don't want to throw this other older gentleman under the shade to say he's doing anything hanky-panky with boys or running anything frivolous. I don't know him. I just got wind that another relative related to Mr. Watkins, I don't know if he's actually related to the West clan, but he is also in the family services circle. And frankly, it all makes my stomach turn. Because now, as this girl's been digging, and she's a YouTuber, and she done dug all up in them folks' Kool-Aid. Who's mama who? Family ancestry. I was like, Lord have mercy. You is really doing the do. Just hearing that somebody else related to these people are working with youth, it's scary. And like I said, I don't want to make no claim of any hanky-panky going on with another relative dealing with foster care children, but it's just how it looks right now because rumors have come up about Jacqueline's mother adopting children. So then that rumor's been running around for like 2 weeks or so. So now here comes another relative. I don't know if he's directly related to Jacqueline and Trezell, how that's all tangled up, this Asa person. But now we find out he's into foster care with boys, group home work. So the plot thickens. And right now, you got people that are just diligently digging up stuff about their family tree. Who's related to who's mama, who ain't got the same daddy. I mean, that one chick on YouTube, I was like, wow, they really gonna hate your ass. I'm sorry. They gonna be like, if this heifer don't quit talking about my damn mama on YouTube, I'm just keeping it real. You know, I'm sure some don't like the stuff I've said, but I ain't been digging all up in them folks' family tree, trying to connect who's mama with who's mama, grandmama. Hell no. I can barely keep up with what I'm hearing and seeing. And ain't no way I'm getting ready to go to Ancestry.com trying to figure out who the hell somebody mama is, daddy. Ain't nobody paying the queen to be no investigator or no PI. I keeps it 100. Look, I already got extra bags. Looking a hot mess from my sleep patterns, you know, because my little thyroid's been acting back up. I just found that out this week. So I need all the sleep I can get and get back on a normal sleeping schedule. Not YouTube schedule, but my own. I ain't trying to dig all down in them folks' business. Because once you start talking about people, they're going to feel some type of way about you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Commenters are going to feel some type of way. But it's getting deep. Talking about these people, what's going on. And I understand people want to get down to the bottom of stuff. But you should know that when you start digging in them people's garbage cans, talking about their mamas and grandmamas, who ain't the person's mom and daddy, who got different last names, you know you is scratching at some scabs. And you sure enough getting ready to wake some dead skin. I'm just saying. You know the family mad at Giselle and Jacqueline for messing up the family hustle. Well, my thing is this. If they had been quiet, nobody would know anything about those two missing babies. That was a choice for him and her to go put out a report that the children are missing. That was their own business. But I do believe it can't be but one or two reasons why they filed this fake police report. Either somebody was hot on your tail pertaining to these children, or something popped off with Trezelle, that girl, and those kids, and somebody lost their temper. But it still doesn't make up for why you would kill two babies. That makes no sense. Even if one was acting up, you flipped out, hit them, kicked them, whatever. What did the other kid have to do with what the hell the one was doing? Let's say, hypothetical, allegedly. One popped off, rambunctious. One was rambunctious. You flipped out, beat the baby, suffocated the baby. Whatever you did or didn't do, what would make you hurt the other child? See, that makes no sense. So that's why I have to think logically. Probably the wife. Well, but when you're dealing with diabolical people, all bets are off. You can't even come up with the right what if. Because you don't know, because we weren't there. So we don't know if those kids ever made it to Cal City. We don't know if they were hurt in Cal City. We don't know if they were sold in Cal City. We don't know if they were hurt, harmed in Bakersfield, because now the way the chief is talking is throwing people off to where they're thinking, well, maybe the children did make it to Cal City. Maybe they were seen here. Maybe they were here. Then hell, maybe they weren't. We ain't gonna know until the evidence comes forward that can tie those children into being at the Cal City address up until December 21st. And that's what I'm waiting on. And we don't know what video footage they have gathered from Bakersfield to Cal City, because as I told you all, you gotta move about on the earth. And you leave a blueprint everywhere you go. So every time you went to the doctor, you went to Lowe's, Home Depot, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, Walmart, you left a blueprint. And at some point, somebody in the peripheral is getting ready to give, or has already given, the investigators video surveillance of these people coming and going in their stores. So at some point, those video surveillance is going to tell how many kids were in their possession, because you're going to at some point have to get out of your car with your kids. You're not going to go to Walmart and leave all your damn kids in the car. So you're going to get out with your kids. And that's what's going to tell it. Video surveillance the past several months. What the relatives and family have to say about when they last saw the children. CPS's involvement with the children and visits and phone calls, doctor visits, immunizations, surveillance from the neighborhood, and the best of all, the West children themselves. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching and tuning in. I will bring you more information. I have another baffling story I want to bring. I can't stay up too late doing a live. I may jump back on here in a minute and do another live because I want to knock all these stories out. I have so many stories to bring you. They are really bad stories, but you all tend to like true crime. So I bring you the information. But I have a very disturbing case to bring you out of Florida. It's going to knock your socks off. I don't know if you've heard about it. I may jump back on here and do a quick live. But I want to hurry up and get that story out so you all can find out and learn about what's going on down in Florida. It's real grimy. Real grimy. Praying for the children. Praying for a resolution. Praying for the chief. Praying for the investigators. Praying for Cal City. I'm praying for Bakersfield. This is bad, what's going on. And I'm praying that this gets over with because I don't want this to go on 5 months, 6 months. It's summertime. We're still talking about these kids and no resolution. Thank you all for joining me. I may jump back on here in a few minutes to bring you some more information. It'll be a quick live, but bear with me. And today the queen is 50, honey. Yes, God is good. I'm highly favored. Amen. Thank you, Nitra. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. I'll try to jump back on here in a minute. If not, it'll be later today. But God bless all of you. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye.